Okay, all right, 1 second here. The screen's doing something weird. I know I'm live. I think I'm live. I'm actually just going to check it on my phone. Bring my mic a little closer. Oh, I am live. Okay. I do it different every single time. All right, so where can I see the comments? Oh, right there. All right, perfect. So as you're jumping on, if you would say hi, jump on, say hi. Let me know where you're from. We have a really good topic today, and I'm really excited to bring this to you. Now, I hope you enjoy it because I was inspired to do this last week. After the workshop week, I opened up my consultation schedule and it filled up, and I talked to, oh, hey Erica, thanks for saying hi. Thank you. Thank you. So as I was talking to everyone who scheduled these consultations, I heard a common theme among our conversations. It was, yeah, but my doctor has told me I'm too old to heal. I'm too far gone. I just need to accept my diagnosis. And trying to remain professional, I'm listening to all of this, and I'm personally being triggered back to when I was at the neurologist's office and he was saying all of those things to me, and the fear that I felt and the hopelessness and it was a death sentence to me having these. I had one small child when I was diagnosed, but every time I went back for a follow-up up until I decided to get healthy, I had two small children, and he kept saying, just accept it. No one dies from MS. You should be happy. And who am I? Like, you can compare me to a neurologist, and I'm going, who am I? What I have learned in the past 14 years is it doesn't matter who am I. It doesn't matter what credentials I have. It matters what I believe, and it matters what I put inside my body and what I put inside my mind and what I tell myself. Those are the things that freaking matter. So I really hope that the information in this video and all the other videos gets in, because I was in your shoes and I heard the doctor say you're too far gone. Once you have the paralysis, it might come back a little bit, but it's just going to continue to get worse. And that kept me stuck for so long. I so believe that is what slowed down my healing. Because had I had this mindset much earlier on, let's even say at diagnosis, I would have healed so much quicker. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my capabilities. And the point of this video and the entire Minding Your Soul group, the Path to Healing coaching program, the entire point is to fill your mind with evidence that, one, it can be done, and two, you can do it. Because it is a freaking virus. And now they know it and we know it. It's just a virus. We kill the Epstein-Barr virus and our symptoms go away. It sounds simple. It's not. You got to do all the things all the time, and you got to incorporate all of these things into your daily activities. And any transition is hard. Anything. So when you have to do the lemon water and the celery juice, and then in the beginning it could seem overwhelming. Hence, 4 months we take in the Path to Healing to incorporate all of these things. So what we're going to go over today is how the body heals, why the body heals, and how, if you're alive, your body is healing. I don't care if you're 96 or if you're 16. If you're alive, your body is healing. So again, I'm going to try not to, I get personally triggered when all of these emotions come up. So when I talk about this, it sounds like she's angry. And I am. I'm angry at all the doctors for shaming us and for bullying us and for making us do things. Like, I heard so many people taking drugs, the DMDs, and they didn't want to, and they were bullied into it. And then they got worse. And it's just this vicious cycle. So let's just dive down deep into the root cause of why the body is sick and then how it heals. All right, so I'm gonna take a break here and just say hello to everyone. Oh, Amy, how are you doing? Jamal, well, hello to you. Oh, the Lockharts are here. Jamal and Stephanie, thanks for being here. Sheila's here. Hi, Janine. It's 10 p.m. here in the UK. You're amazing for staying up. Just catch a second now, and and the rest at breakfast tomorrow. Absolutely. At 10 o'clock, there's no way I'm up at 10 o'clock. I struggle to stay up to 9 o'clock. Hi Quinn. Hi Shoni. Hi Patty. You guys are awesome. Thank you. It's nice on talking to live people. So any questions that you have, just go ahead and put them in there, and I'll check from time to time and make sure I'm answering them. I did see some questions in the group about celery juice, so I want to address that later at the end of this. But hello, Charla. I'm glad you made it. Right now, we're going to talk about how the body heals. The body's always healing. If you get a paper cut at 16 or if you get a paper cut at 96, your body's going to heal. The difference is it's going to take more time at 96 than it is going at 16. As we get older, everything takes more time, doesn't it? Everything. As I was preparing for this video, I wanted an example of young people doing something and older people like me, 45, doing something. So I went into my daughter's room. I'm like, listen, I got live at 5 and I want to give them an example. What is something that you think I do so much slower than you do? She didn't even take, oh, hi Sarah from the UK. Thanks for being here. She didn't even take, my daughter, 2 seconds to answer this question. She goes, use your phone. I'm like, what? She goes, you take forever to use your phone. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, Mom, you text so slow, and then you punctuate, and then you backspace. She goes, new technology, I don't know, apps, it takes you forever. She's like, it's not an insult. You just asked me. I'm like, you're right, I did. And I think what happens is, as we get older, I don't think it has to do with our body being slower as much as it has to do with our body having more layers of crap to sift through in order to get the signals where they need to go, right? As we live longer and longer on this earth, we accumulate more shit, and it takes us longer to do everything. Most of the time, it's just all in our heads. You know, do you ever sit down? I know this is with me all the time, trying to do my own website and my own technology. I'm trying to learn everything by myself. There are times when I do it at night. I sit down after the entire day. I sit down. I'm like, all right, I'm going to figure this out. And I can't figure it out for the life of me. But then I do it Saturday morning when I'm fresh. Kevin's got the baby. I sit down. I'm like, oh, this wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. We have all these layers of crap on top of us, whether it's thoughts or stress or whatever, that prevents us from doing things as quickly as like the 16-year-old who has like a fraction of those things on her mind. But it also does take the body, the mind, and the soul to heal anything. So what I just talked about was like the mental, the emotional level, right, of crap that we accumulate. We also accumulate crap in our bodies just from living on this earth, whether it's from the processed foods or the chemicals on the foods or the heavy metals that are all over the place. We're constantly absorbing these chemicals that our body has to process out. If we don't give our bodies what they need to, let's say our liver, if we don't give our liver what it needs to be able to get rid of these toxins, then it gets backed up and it slows down, right? Just like, you know, you eat something and it backs you up, it takes forever to go to the bathroom. So everything slows down as we get older, but there are things that we can do to help it. 100 years ago, older people really didn't have this physical problem because all of their food contained the nutrients that it needed, that our bodies needed to keep up with the chemicals of 100 years ago in the air that we were coming in contact with or in our food. Today, there is an uptick in the chemicals that we're exposed to, right? And the nutrients in our food are lower than that of 100 years ago. I think it's 32 bowls of spinach. And that was in 1996. In 1996, it took 32 bowls of spinach to equal the iron content in one bowl of spinach in 1956. And they did a really good study. The University of UCLA did it, and they used the same plot of land. They took spinach in 1956 and tested it, and then they did it again in 1996 and tested it. It took 32 bowls to equal one bowl of spinach, all the nutrients. So imagine what that is today in 2022. So we're constantly coming in contact with things that are going to slow us down. And it's the stuff that we put inside of our bodies that are going to help our organs, like our liver, keep up with getting the crap out. Now that's on the physical level. Our emotional level, you know, when we have to reboot, when we need a break, when we go out with the girls, when we just need time to fill up our souls again, right? I don't know about you guys, but when things are driving me crazy here and I'm like at capacity, I call my girlfriend Amanda and I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, doesn't matter, come over. And I come over and I sit with her at the dining room table and she's doing her thing and we're just talking. And then by the end of the night or by the end of the hour, I feel like I'm built up again. I'm like, okay, I'm good. That's me giving my soul what it needs, right, to fill myself back up again. And we need that on a regular basis. So you've got the body, the mind, and the soul. Now, I also work with Catherine Rose, the vibrational healer that's also part of the Path to Healing program, because I've been working with her for 10 years. Just being on this planet, we are accumulating not only toxins, but we're accumulating negative energies that really kind of stick to us and program us from, let's say, childhood. We're programmed with these subconscious programs that we don't even know are running in the background. That's what Catherine does to remove those programs or to reprogram them, along with Matt Rowe. Matt is who I go to for mindset coaching, also part of the Path to Healing program because it worked for me. I give it to you in the Path to Healing program. You got to fill your mind and train your brain, and we're going to get to how the body heals and how you can do all of this. You have to train your brain to think in a way that is going to be healthy to you and your body. Because think about it, if you're stuck in this pattern of life is hard, healing is impossible, right? And that's running, and you're consciously telling yourself, yeah, life is hard, healing is impossible. Well, then you're right, it's going to be. And how difficult do you think it's going to be for you to retrain your brain so that the default thought is, life isn't that hard. Actually, life is pretty cool and healing is easy. That's like an affirmation, right? Take any affirmation, one that you want to believe, but let's say you don't just yet. And so you say it, the first time you say it, it sounds ridiculous to you. Like life is fun and healing is easy, right? It sounds hard. You do it every day, a couple times a day, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, life is easy and healing is possible. That's how an affirmation works. And in the brain, how it actually works is you have this groove, you have this pathway where the signal goes from here to here, point A to point B. And the thought is healing is hard. Now I'm using that as an example because that was always me 15 years ago when I was trying to heal. That was my thought pattern. Healing is hard. Working with mindset coaches and Catherine Rose, I had to retrain my brain to not take this pathway that it had been taking for a very long time and take a new route and say, healing is easy. I can do this. But that does not become the primary thought until you think it over and over and over again until you truly believe it. Because when we go back into our comfort zones, right, we go right back into our old patterns. You could apply that logic to anything, to relationships, to our thought patterns. We go right back into what's easy. And what's easy is the thought pattern, the pathway that we have been thinking for years. It takes work. It takes years sometimes to retrain everything. So let's talk about the physical body and the symptoms of MS, and let's debunk everything that the neurologist has told us that the reasons why we can't heal. Here's the reason why we can heal. Your signals, whether it is a thought signal or if it's an energetic signal that is leaving your brain and going down to your foot so that you can lift it and walk properly. Let's talk about the signal going down to your foot. The signal travels by way of tic-tacs. Think about it this way. Picture the white spearmint tic-tacs, the white tic-tacs. Put them all in a row. I wish I had visual aids. I was thinking, I don't. Maybe one day I'll get to that. But picture the tic-tacs all lined up in a row. The way the signal travels through the body is on those tic-tacs, it jumps doot, 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 at lightning speed, and it leaves your brain and it goes all the way down to wherever you have feeling, wherever an organ needs to work. That's how we work, through the signals. Those tic-tacs are the myelin, the rubber coating. They're actually protecting the nerves on the inside, but that's how the energy is conducted, through the rubber coating, the myelin, the tic-tacs, it jumps. When you have the Epstein-Barr in your body, it feeds on what we know, gluten, dairy, and eggs, but it also feeds on heavy metals. Remember when I said we come into heavy metals just by living on this planet? We just come in contact with them. It's part of living here. Our livers can take care of it. It can. When we have MS, and we've had MS for years, there is the Epstein-Barr virus in our bodies that is feeding on gluten, dairy, and eggs, and the heavy metals. The heavy metals love to reside inside of our organs and also on our myelin. Everyone goes through this, not just people with MS, everybody. However, people with MS have a certain set of symptoms that lead to that diagnosis. So everybody has heavy metals, but not everybody has the Epstein-Barr virus. So in our bodies, the Epstein-Barr virus feeds on gluten, dairy, and eggs, but also on the heavy metals. So here we go. Here's your Tic Tac. I know it's orange, it's chopstick. Here's your Tic Tac, and the signals are jumping through. Let's say on this Tic Tac right here are some heavy metals that are residing right here, because it's a nice environment. It's a dense protein, and the heavy metal likes to reside right here in your brain and down your spinal column. The Epstein-Barr virus is flitting around your body all nice and protected because the immune system has a very hard time seeing it. Remember that smoke screen that the virus puts out to evade your immune system. So the immune system is like, I know you're here. I know you're here, but I can't find you. So the virus is floating around the body without any worries, and it goes, oh, look, some food, some heavy metals, and it starts eating the heavy metals right here, right? So your immune system, that's like, I know you're here, I know you're here. While the Epstein-Barr virus is eating, it's not putting out the smoke screen. And your immune system is like, oh, I see you. And it starts attacking the virus. That's what it's supposed to do. It's protecting you. There's nothing wrong with your immune system. It's been protecting you forever, since the day you were born. So your immune system starts attacking the Epstein-Barr virus. The Epstein-Barr virus is feeding on the heavy metals. What do you think is happening underneath the heavy metal where the myelin is? It's becoming inflamed. It's oxidizing, which is just rusting because of those heavy metals and all the horrible activity that's going on top of it, right? So what happens to this myelin? It oxidizes, and your body goes, shit, we have to fix that. We have to repair that. We need that. But the only thing that it can do, because myelin does regenerate itself, but it takes a shit ton of resources to regenerate itself. So if it doesn't have the resources, the things that you put inside your body to help your body out, the superheroes we talked about on, I think, day 3 of the workshop, if your body doesn't have the resources to regenerate the myelin, it goes, all right, listen, we can't rebuild this shit. So what we're going to do to protect the body is, you know what, just put some scar tissue there. We need to cover it up quickly. And the body makes scar tissue right here. Then the signals that are going through get stuck on the scar tissue and can't jump because scar tissue doesn't generate electricity the way myelin was designed to. That is why the signal gets stuck. However, when we kill the virus, this is the important part. When we kill the virus, we remove the heavy metals. That's how we kill the virus, by removing its food source. So we remove the gluten, the dairy, the eggs, and the heavy metals. We're removing all of the heavy metals. What is left over here is the scarring. Okay, so now the body doesn't have to contend with the virus anymore. The immune system has calmed down and doesn't have the viral load to fight anymore, so you're feeling more energy. So you're like, why the hell can't I still walk? You can. However, this signal right here that got caught on the scar, needs to take plan B, because plan A was right here. It hit this and couldn't go. So your body's like, shit, is there a plan B? There's always a plan B. There's another piece of myelin right over here. This signal can take a detour around it. I know I should come up with a better visual aid. Your body can always take a detour around the scar. Always. Your body doesn't just have one plan A, and if plan A doesn't work, oh well, you don't walk. No, your body's always in a state of healing itself and figuring out how to get the signals to where they need to go. That's why, you know, when you hear about accident victims, young children whose nerves get severed, as compared to an adult whose nerves get severed in a car accident. That child will regenerate those signals and be able to walk so much sooner. Maybe the adult can't do it at all, but where the child could, because they're making these connections. They're taking plan B, plan C, plan D. Why? Because they don't have this shit in our body that the adults do. And they can make those connections so much faster. So your body is always going to take plan B if plan A is not available, or plan C, or plan D. That's how the body heals. We have this thing about, well, I always say, let me put it this way, let me use a paper cut. If you got a paper cut at a very young age, you would have no qualms about being able to heal it. If you got it at 96 years old, you would have no qualms about being able to heal it, because in your mind, there's no mental block to healing the paper cut, it's just a paper cut. If somebody, let's say you're a neurologist, if your neurologist went to you and you said, Janine, you know what? I have some bad news. You have a virus. It's called the Epstein-Barr virus. It's a very powerful virus, but there is a way to kill it. You're going to have to be consistent about it, but there is a way to kill it. You're going to have to give up a couple things in your diet, or at least switch them out. I haven't given up pizza. I just switched it out for a really good gluten-free pizza. And you're going to have to eat a couple things in a shake, or at least in a 24-hour period, to get the metals out. You just have a virus, and here's how to kill it. Would that invoke the fear that you felt when you were diagnosed with MS? No, not at all. You'd be like, oh, all right, I got a virus. What happens is when we start to heal in our bodies naturally, the way the body was designed to heal, it takes a long time. But compared to what, right? Long, the word long is relative. It takes a long time compared to the amount of time we're used to. When we have a headache, what do? Well, usually it's because people are dehydrated that they have headaches. So if you were to hydrate your body and your headache would go away, but it would take hours for it to go away. So what are we used to doing? We're used to being able to take a Tylenol or an Advil and we get immediate results within 15, 20 minutes? Add a cup of coffee to that and it's even sooner, right? That's what we're used to. So when the body begins to heal and we're experiencing the symptoms of healing, because yes, there are symptoms of healing, we start to think, oh, this isn't happening. There's something wrong with my body. It's not happening fast enough. How long is it going to take? Well, how long have you been experiencing symptoms? How long has the Epstein-Barr had time to reproduce and visit all of the organs and the myelin and float throughout your body? And I'm sorry, I don't mean to put this on you. But we didn't know. Nobody told us. But how long have you been feeding the virus? How long have you been eating gluten and dairy and eggs and not getting the heavy metals out? A really freaking long time, probably, because no one teaches us this. Again, the reason why I will never charge for this information is because this needs to be taught in school. We need to learn how to heal our bodies, and hopefully one day it will be. But for now, we have the chick on Facebook telling us, and a couple other people online too. Most of this comes from the medical medium, and I'm very grateful for him for sharing this information and putting it out there. Although he talks a lot. I mean, he takes like an hour to say, 3 sentences that were actually what I was waiting to hear. Anyway, that's a whole nother series. So the body is always in a state of healing. We block it. I don't know why we still think in this day and age that it is an issue with the immune system. If we are experiencing fatigue, let's take me. My entire house is sick. The entire house is sick. They all have boogers. They all have a cough. They all have a scratchy, itchy throat and itchy ears. We're still not sure if it's allergies that they're experiencing or if they all have the same virus. I'm not sure, but everyone is sick. I'm not. I'm not sick. I don't have the boogers. I don't have the itching or the coughing. However, I'm exhausted. So I know that my body is fighting something, right? And that's a logical thought. Oh, I'm tired. Everyone in my house is sick. My immune system must be fighting extra hard to kill whatever everyone else is fighting. So why is it then when we have MS and we are experiencing extreme fatigue, why was the thought never there? Our bodies must be fighting something. Our immune system must be working overtime. Why is it the thought was, from the neurologist, what we were told, our immune system is wrongly attacking? When the hell would our immune system wrongly attack? That's not a thing. Your immune system is programmed for you the way it is for everybody else. It attacks pathogens, viruses, bacteria, fungus, pathogens. So obviously if I'm feeling fatigue, my body is fighting something. My immune system is taking care of me. So start looking at your fatigue as your immune system taking care of you. Start looking at your very tired body as, wow, it's really working hard and it's been fighting for decades. Let me give it what it needs. Let me help. It's like going into a war situation and saying, oh my God, look at these fighters. They're exhausted. Let me give them food. Let me give them extra ammo. Let me help them in their fight. That's what you're doing. You're helping your body in the fight. not only on the physical level, but you also have to address the emotional level and the soul level. Okay, so the emotional level is the mindset training, the thoughts. What are the thoughts, the conscious thoughts that you know of that are going on inside your head that are keeping you either stuck or in fear? What is happening inside of your brain? And how can you reprogram that on a daily basis? What are the new thoughts that you can adopt and start practicing thinking every single day? This is why we work with Matt Rowe in Paths to Healing, because it's not easy. We don't even recognize it sometimes. And I say that because during our coaching calls, I watch him and I watch how he can identify these patterns in people. And he goes, see right there? That's where you're stuck. That is a block in your mind. And then he redirects the thought and the person goes, oh, I didn't even realize that. Yeah. So sometimes we're not even conscious of how damaging our conscious thoughts could be. So when we're healing, we're going to get into the soul level in a second. When we're healing from anything, yes, MS we're talking about now, but when we're healing from anything, it always starts on the emotional level. It always starts on the soul level. And then it manifests inside the body. So I'm not saying to just tackle the physical layer and you don't eat gluten, dairy, eggs, get rid of the heavy metals, lemon water, celery juice. Yes, that's the physical level, but it starts on the emotional level. You have to want to wake up every friggin' day and drink lemon water. You have to want to drink the celery juice, because that's not fun. That's not fun for anybody. I don't know about you non-coffee drinkers, but for the coffee drinkers over here, you know what is fun? Waking up and having a cup of coffee first thing in the morning. That's what I want to do. But no, I don't do it because I have to take care of my body. So I do the lemon water, but you have to want to. So the want comes from up here. So yes, we do have to take care of the physical level, but it starts on the emotional level. So what do? We tackle the conscious. We tackle the conscious thoughts to get us in a place where we want to take care of our bodies, whether that means mindset coaching or hanging out with Amanda a couple times a week, hanging out with girlfriends, or just lifting yourself up. My clients say that the weekly group calls is what lifts them up on a weekly basis, but find your thing, because you have to get right here in your thoughts before you are going to have the motivation and the desire to do it on the physical level. Then there's the soul level. Then there's that subconscious programming. I call it the soul level, subconscious level. That subconscious programming that's running in the background that we really don't have any idea what's happening, except we get these little glimpses, these little like red flags. Do you ever say to yourself, I know what to do. I just can't get myself to do it. I know it's wrong, but I still do it. I don't understand why. That's why. That's your red flag. There is a subconscious program running in the background. So when we are trying to heal anything, yes, there is a physical component to it. We have to kill the virus and we have to stay consistent in it, right? The lemon water, the celery juice, the heavy metal detox smoothie, that is going to remove the foods, that is going to get the detox process working. Then the gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free, that's going to remove the food sources, along with the heavy metal detox smoothie, removing the heavy metal food source for the virus. We have to do all of those things all the time. Now, did I write this down? Yeah, I did. Okay, so someone posted in the group, Kathy, and I didn't write down your last name, but I'm going to take note of the time, 28 minutes, so I can respond if you're not on here right now. 28 minutes. I want to respond to what you posted in the group. I don't think it was your post, maybe it was a comment. I think you said, I don't know if the celery juice is working for me. I don't have any diarrhea or fatigue. I think it's very important for everyone to understand that the diarrhea, yes, is caused by the celery juice, because the celery juice kills the Epstein-Barr virus on contact. And when the Epstein-Barr virus is in your gut lining, which is the tube that runs from your mouth all the way down the other end to where there's a light at the end of the tunnel, if the Epstein-Barr virus is in there, the celery juice is going to hit that first. It's going to kill it, and your body's going to go, holy shit, get this out of me immediately. Oh, thank God, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Get it out. And it evacuates it out. Now, if the Epstein-Barr is not in your gut lining, and maybe it's not, because you eat very well and you've taken care of this gut lining, right? Or maybe your virus, the strain that you have, just left the gut and went into another organ. When the celery juice goes into the gut, it gets absorbed through, right? Through the gut lining and also through your stomach into your organs. And that's where it also kills the Epstein-Barr virus on contact. Now, when it's in your organs and it's killed inside the organs, it doesn't have a light at the end of the tunnel. There's no evacuation route that runs from your kidneys, your spleen, your liver out the other end of you. So your body has to use the waste management system. It has to use your lymphatic system. And it has to use your excretory system, which it gets it out through the pee and the poop and the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is located directly underneath your skin, so you might break out in a rash. But if you don't break out in a rash, well, then you're peeing and you're pooping out the dead virus. So celery juice can't not work for anybody. It works for everybody. It's the cluster salts in the celery juice that kill the viruses on contact. And I say viruses, not just the Epstein-Barr virus, because it kills all viruses on contact, which is why I believe I didn't get the COVID when my husband had it twice, and I literally slept with him the night before he tested positive, and I didn't get it both times. So I believe I've created an environment inside my body where viruses can't live. They've got nothing to live on. There's no food in there for them. So once you kick the Epstein-Barr virus and your symptoms start to go, you're also going to be immune really to all the other viruses. Now, I do still get sick because now I've got a whole host of other issues with my son in daycare. It's 2 days a week, 4 hours a day, and he gets everything. And then everybody else gets everything. I seem to not be getting everything that the whole house is getting, but I am, like, my immune system's fighting. Like, I feel it, so it's in there. All right, let me see if I talked about detours. I talked about myelin regenerating itself. Now let's just go back to the myelin for just a second. Erica, I love that book. I have to revisit it. The Body Keeps Score. Exactly. The stuff, the emotions that we have. I love that you brought up that book. Please, everyone, go look up The Body Keeps Score. Everything that happens on the emotional level, that's another way of saying it. The body keeps score of everything. So when I say it starts on the emotional level. Apparently for me, my emotions are up here. When I say it starts on the emotional level and it manifests on the physical level, it's like saying whatever happens on the emotional level, the body, the physical body, is going to keep score. So your physical body is a direct reflection of what's going on inside of your mind. Doesn't that blow your mind? It did for me anyway, the first time I heard that. Your physical body is a direct reflection of what's going on inside your mind. Maybe that's good for some people, maybe that's scary for some people. For me, it was freaking scary. I was like, I have some work to do. I really have some inner work to do. So let's jump back to myelin for a second. Myelin can absolutely regenerate itself. It can. Doctors don't tell you this. Google it. Myelin regenerates itself. But the body is always going to take the most efficient route to do what it needs to do. So if it's more efficient to create a detour, your body's going to create a detour around the scar rather than regenerate the myelin. Because your body, it's kind of like you hit a traffic jam, right? And you're like, well, you know what? Why don't I just build a bridge? I'll call some architects. I'll call some builders. I got a shit ton of money. Why don't I just put it towards building a bridge? Or you can take the detour and be home in 10 minutes. You're going to take the detour. That's exactly how the body works. The body's like, I could regenerate the myelin, but why put all of that time and effort into that when I could just take a detour? The detour is plan B. The detour is plan C, plan D. Trevor talks about it in the MS Gym. Your body's always going to find a way to get that signal through. What's going to determine whether or not the body takes the detour is going to be the blocks that it encounters. Whether it's an emotional block, my body can't heal, healing is hard, I'm never going to get over this. Whether it's a subconscious block, the programming from childhood, you don't deserve to be healthy. I'm sorry, this is all mine. Just, you might have the same ones, but those are mine. And that's what I really, those were my demons. That's what I used to say. So those are the blocks, the emotional, the subconscious, the soul level, and then the physical blocks. And the physical blocks are all the things that we put inside of our body that don't help the healing, right? So we have the foods that heal and we have the foods that don't heal. The thing that really helped me during my healing process, and it took me a shit ton of time. It took me a long time to get to where I am today, and that's why I do this, because I don't want the same thing to happen for you. In hindsight, we have all the answers, right? So in hindsight, I'm like, fuck, I should have done that, I should have done this, I should have done this quicker, I wish I would have learned this lesson quicker. So that's why I take all of my lessons that I can see clearly now in hindsight, and I put them in here, in the Minding Your Soul, in the Path to Healing program, so that it's not going to take you the 10 years that it took me. So we have to heal on all the levels, the emotional, the subconscious, and the body level. And that doesn't mean that we can just pick and choose one level. You really do have to address all the levels. So let's go back. Did I write those down? Yeah, my body is too far gone. I can't heal. Well, I hope you understand now that if you're alive, your body can absolutely heal. Might take a little bit longer, but your body can absolutely heal. Give it what it needs. Stop giving it what it doesn't need, and fill yourself up. You're never too far gone, unless you were in a car accident and the nerves are severed. And even then you hear of these miracle stories of people healing. But that's not us. That's not the people who were diagnosed with MS. Those are the people diagnosed with MS were told you have a scar that is preventing the signal from going through. Okay, doc, what about plan B? Why can't my body take a detour? Your body will absolutely take the detour if it has the energy to do it. Keep that in mind, if it has the energy to do it. Right now, same thing with heat intolerance. Your body can absolutely regulate your temperature easily, but not when you're asking it to fight a virus 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are fighting this virus 24 hours, 7 days a week. And then you're saying to your body, oh, by the way, I'm really hot. I need you to cool me down quickly. Your body's like, no fucking way. I've been fighting a virus for 24/7 for like the past 20 years. I'm done. I can't regulate your temperature because I'm losing the fight against this virus. I need help. When you start helping your body and bringing down the viral load, which is why we starve, kill, detox, right? And we don't starve ourselves. Someone's like, what do you mean I have to starve myself? No, we starve the virus. So you starve the virus by taking away its food source, right? You bring up your immune system. You make it so strong with the help of the celery juice that kills the virus on contact, so that everything's working together to kill this virus, and then you get it out of your body with the lemon water and the celery juice, which celery juice plays a number of different roles in this. So once you start killing the virus and bringing down that viral load so that your immune system has less to fight, that's when you start feeling the energy. That's when you start feeling the shift. You're never too old to heal. That's how the body works. If you're alive, your body can absolutely heal. Think about the Tic Tacs, the white Tic Tacs in a row, and the signals going like this and jumping from Tic Tac to get the signal where it goes. If it stops on that scar, it has to have the energy to go around and make a new connection. But if you're asking it to fight a virus 24/7, your body's going to be left with zero energy. And when you ask it to take a detour to get the signal down to your legs, it's going to laugh at you and say, you're kidding me, right? I have enough to do in my day. Visual learner, that's how I picture, like there's all departments running around in my body, and they all talk to each other. And that's how my body talks to me. It's saying, please take care of me and give me what I need, and I promise you I will take care of you tenfold. And that's what happens. And that's what happens. And that's what I'm seeing, everybody healing, and the clients, everybody is healing once they incorporate all of those things. So don't beat yourself up if you can't do all the things at once. No, I used this analogy the other day in the coaching call. If somebody told you that your house that was for sale, right, it's sold, you got to move out tomorrow. What? Are you kidding me? I have an entire house to pack. I can't do that. It's completely overwhelming, right? Can't be done. But if somebody says, we sold your house, shit ton of money, and you have 4 months to move, and in that 4 months we're going to give you some help and we're going to do it together, you'd be like, great, that's perfect. That's exactly how you have to approach healing. You have to realize that it takes time, not only for your body to heal, but for you to adjust emotionally to those changes. It's going to take time. The time commitment alone to go to the grocery store and find a gluten-free pizza that tastes good. Ice cream's really easy, so delicious. The brand's so delicious, absolutely awesome. It's going to take time to do this transition, but once you do it, then it becomes easy. Then you think, oh my God, why didn't I do this sooner? I feel amazing. So hopefully that answers your question. Is your body too far gone? Can you heal? Yeah. If I'm alive, I can absolutely heal. I just need to accept my diagnosis. Why? It's a fucking virus. I don't need to accept my diagnosis. I'll accept it. I'll accept the fact that it's a virus that can be killed, and it's just a matter of time until I heal. All right? That's what you can accept. There's just no cure. Really? Well, what's the cause of it? We don't know. Well, if you don't know what's causing it, how do you know there's no cure, right? Challenge these doctors. Don't get bullied. Don't get shamed. And don't go into that thinking, well, who the hell? Because this is what I did. Well, who the hell am I? They're a neurologist. They went to, 50,000 years of hours of schooling. And, I finished high school. You do know the answers. Don't doubt yourself, but instead build a library of evidence for your mind to remind you, yes, this is possible. I've seen it done. Build that library of evidence. Go and the Minding Your Soul group is a great one. So many people are healing in there. Talk to the clients of Path to Healing. Just ask around. Anyone in Path to Healing? How's it going? Go to Matt Embry's group. Go to Matt Rowe's group. The people... I can't think of any more right now off the top of my head. But there is so much evidence of healing. Build that library of evidence. All right, let me see my notes here. Blocks to healing on all levels. Body takes time to heal. Be patient. We're used to immediate results. The body takes time to heal. It's going to take a little bit of time, but stay and keep that faith through the healing process, and know if you're feeling the fatigue, your body's fighting hard. It's protecting you. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Answer, how long has it been there? Right, that's what I was going to say. So how long is it going to take? Well, how long has the virus been in there and being free to duplicate and replicate and double in its numbers and visit all your different organs? Because remember, in stage 3, the virus has left the bloodstream and has gone into organs. Whatever organ it decides to live in is going to give you a collection of symptoms that you're going to take to the doctor, and they're going to determine your diagnosis based on your symptoms. So for us, liver, spleen, kidneys, that's where it is. For someone with thyroid issues, the virus went into the thyroid. Now, I did see a comment about she was diagnosed with MS and thyroidism. Of course, the virus is going all over. But in stage 4, its ultimate goal is your nerves, because the nerves are the freeway to all the organs, where there's an abundance of food in all of your organs, because that's where the heavy metals and the toxic shit that we accumulate in this world accumulate in our organs. That's why we have to give our bodies what it needs to be able to get rid of all of that crap and get rid of the food source for the virus. It's just a virus. Kill the virus, get rid of your symptoms. And I'm seeing it over and over. It's happening. So do we have any questions before I go? Maureen just took celery juice. Oh, cool. About an hour ago. Could not do it this morning due to an appointment. Great. Feeling blah. I guess this bastard virus is dying. That's the connection. That's the new connection that your brain is now making. Rather than thinking, oh, I'm tired. This goddamn MS is kicking my butt. No. Oh, I'm tired. My body is kicking this goddamn virus. It is dying. Let me give my body some rest so that I could kick the virus butt even harder. That's the different way of thinking, because that's what's actually going on in our body. And it's not fear-based. It's fact-based. All right. I'm just reading here. Hey, Erica, can you send the book title and author? Amazon, maybe? Oh, Erica, that's awesome. All right, she'll do that. Yeah, we should post that in the group, The Body Keeps Score. That's an awesome one. Quinn says, gluing Tic Tacs end to end might be a fun family activity. I was thinking about that. I wanted to just grab I was going to do, while I was preparing for this video, I had these labels, right? But I used them all. But the 5160 labels, I was thinking of, here's one, of like putting all these labels together and then putting something on top that was the heavy metal, and then the virus, and then the immune system. And then this way I could peel the layers back in and give a visual aid. So I'm going to work on that. My daughter's very creative. She's the artist in the family, so maybe she can help me with that. All right, I think that's it. Oh, hello, Jan. Thank you for saying hi. Stephanie, hi, Janine. Stephanie again in Northern Michigan. Always excited to learn with you. Thank you guys for being here. And you know what, Stephanie, you just reminded me. I wanted to thank everybody in this group for being so kind and so patient. I read all of the comments. I don't always have time, because usually I'm feeding the baby with one arm or I'm rocking him to sleep, and I grab my phone and I start reading comments. So I don't always reply, but I see how kind and how patient everybody is in here with all of your responses. There's no shaming. Everyone is so helpful. And I see sometimes the same people answering the same question, but they answer it as if they're answering it for the first time. There's never any attitude. Everyone is so kind to each other in this group. And I just wanted to say thank you, because all those people that I talked to last week after, oh, I just got a notification, Medical Medium is live, Mystery, Fears, and Worries. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to start a new series that is titled, I Watch the Medical Medium So You Don't Have To. I'll watch an hour and get like 3 things from it, right? It took him an hour to say, and then I'll bring you those 3 things in like a minute video. I'm working on that. So anyway, back to you guys. You're so helpful, and the community that we have here, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for spreading the information that healing is possible and this is how you do it. Thank you for directing the new people to the information so that they can begin to heal. Thank you for sharing your experiences, whether it's on the physical level or things that you've noticed, like a juicer, the juicers that are good. Everybody here is so incredibly helpful. I have, I think, only had to block 2 people from this group, really creepy people. But this group is now over a couple years old. And everyone who comes in is so gracious and so kind. And I'm just so appreciative of everyone spreading the information and helping each other heal. This is what I would have wanted when I was sick. And because I couldn't find it, I created it. And this speaks to my soul, and as healing as it is for you, it's just as healing for me. Because that girl who was laying in that bed all those years ago, paralyzed in her legs and in her arms, just laid there wishing that someone would say, you can heal, you do have options, and I will show you how. And if you notice, I finish a lot of my correspondence, like my event posts, I finish it with those 3 statements. You can heal, you do have options, and I'll show you how. Because that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted someone to tell me, don't worry, you can heal. This is how you do it, and we'll do it together. And I never found her, so I became her. Took me a long time to do it, but I became her. And so this is very healing to me to see everybody else helping everybody, because there's no need for suffering. There's no need for this type of disgusting suffering as we sit and we watch our kids play and we watch life go on around us and we're stuck within these 4 walls, right? And we can't do anything and we don't want to ask for help because they're already doing so much for us. I get it. I get it. I was there. Please take this information and please keep sharing it and keep getting ahead of myself. Keep healing, because the rest of the world needs to understand that they can heal, they do have options, and there are people around who will show them how to do it. Okay, I'm emotional enough for tonight. I think we're going to end it there. Thank you very much for joining me on another Live at 5. I will see you next Wednesday. I don't know what the topic is. I usually get inspired by the consultations and the posts that I see. So if you have any recommendations or requests on topics that you want me to talk about, feel free to pass them along. And everyone, have a really great night. And if I don't see you before, maybe I'll see you next Wednesday. Have a good one. Bye, everyone.